Hello, humans and pets. Today we're going to be making pork chops, and on the side of the pork chops, we're going to be making some beans.
The main thing is the beans. The pork chops, we had one
Yeah, we just
package
have
left
pork chops
over,
here.
so we figured.
So
So this is a recipe. It's I don't even want to know to call it a recipe. We're winging this one only because of the fact that normally I make a
that's what we normally
crock
do.
pot full, and Ryan loves it. As a kid, he went through a phase where he would eat nothing but vegetables, and then when he got old enough to he could talk to his cousins like, I don't like onions, and then he stopped wanting to eat any vegetables. So the one way I could get him to eat all of his vegetables is I would make this concoction of beans,
And
then
it's good.
He would eat everything. But we've never had him on a smoker. And I did take my cast iron pan. Normally I make a crock pot full. Chances are what I cut is not going to fit in a pan. But
we got like hot dogs and sausage over there. Because
so
that's what we like.
the good part with this
just the
is you can change the recipe in anything you want. So in this case, I cut up some vegetables. Basically all I did, we had some bacon grease. We put it on the bottom of the pan just to help.
With this spoon.
So I have a yellow pepper. I have a whole onion that I just diced.
Half onion.
No, it's a whole onion that I
The
diced
whole
up.
onion?
The whole onion, and I
Okay.
have a large carrot because he actually. I don't know. There's something about carrots. I've been putting them in my chili. I've been putting them in my
Carrots.
beans like this,
And it's trying to eat the food.
and
Silly goose.
just as some vegetables to go with the beans. I usually use when we do
kidney.
this kidney beans, and we may need more. We may need less. I took out a lot of stuff, so.
While he's doing that, I'm going to be seasoning the chops with kickin' chicken. We like this. It's from Weber, the grill. We're not going to be cooking it on a Weber grill, though. I'm going to be using the Gravity-Fed 980 today.
So, normally Ryan's favorite, he loves Bar-S hot dogs, and this
So
is
good.
John Moreau sausages. I'm just gonna put in some garlic because we all love garlic here,
We do like garlic a lot.
and mix it all together. And we're gonna have to make this kind of juicy this time, because we're gonna throw it on the smoker at 225, and I'm gonna smoke this for however many hours until the vegetables get cooked. We were gonna try to pre-cook the vegetables, just because it would have sped up the process. But in this case, we're like I said, we're kind of winging it. So whatever meat
Pork in it.
we're porking it. That sounds dirty. So
was
whatever
funny,
meat we
yeah.
don't put in, we're gonna probably do. You can go back and watch that recipe. Ryan loves when we do the barbecue and onions, and we're gonna put that on the smoker again too. So whatever it doesn't fit in here, which is gonna be a lot of this, we might even take a little bit more out because that's one of Ryan's favorite things, anyways.
Yeah.
The vegetables are gonna cook down a little bit. I just don't want to make a huge mess of it spilling all over the place, which is probably going to be the case, but all right. So with the base of my seasoning usually
It's
on this
taco
one
seasoning.
is actually normally I'll put in
Normally,
like paprika,
Yeah.
cumin, and
Make our
chili powder, but today I'm making it easy because we're going to put in a little bit of
taco seasoning.
taco season, because the actual main flavor of the beans normally is I'll use barbecue sauce and
We're
wine.
not making our own barbecue sauce. This is just
No,
like
I'm just-
Walmart brand or like
This is just
someone's brand.
this one actually is Walmart.
Walmart brand original barbecue sauce today.
I asked him if he wanted to change it, but he's like, keep it the normal. It's kind of a test of, is it better in the smoker again?
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're looking at.
Kind of what we always do.
What we've been
and that's
doing.
a good thing because it always seems like it.
So this is
coming
going
out
to
better.
be a generous amount of barbecue sauce, but there's not hardly any left actually. So, and what I'll do is you can use like a beef stock or something like that, but a lot of times I'll use wine just to make the
We have
liquid.
some behind you. You can't see it.
Yeah, I have a thing of it. And there's barely any barbecue sauce left, so I'm going to actually use it. Normally I use this, but again, my measurements are a little off because normally I'll do it in a crock pot.
Yeah. So we got the wine now. Getting filled up in the barbecue sauce container. that since we're just gonna throw it in anyways, it kind of like helps get all the barbecue sauce that's stuck.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use it
because
as
like the bottle's very inefficient for getting all the barbecue sauce out.
Yeah, this was only about a little bit more than half of a bottle of barbecue sauce anyway.
Which is weird. I never understood that.
What?
Like, why would you make a bottle if you can't get it all out? But,
and again, I'm gonna want it a little bit juicy because
it cooks.
It's gonna end up evaporating out because we're not gonna cover this. And I'll keep an eye on it. If we have to add more liquids, we always can. So this should
be not long of a cook.
It is like actually 3, probably 4, gonna, a few
maybe
hours.
5, hopefully not, but who knows?
A few hours. So there you go. So that's basically
that's
the beans,
I guess.
And so we're gonna go fire up the pit. We're gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the liquid, and we're gonna see. Does it taste better? Again, does it taste better on the pit? Because I almost forgot our magical ingredients. Normally, a lot of times, especially when I'm making my own, we'll put in a little bit of mustard, a little bit of we're up away from the fridge.
This is what, cayenne flavored hot sauce?
This is
it's in one of those like Christmas variety packs.
It's not
come out during the holiday season.
It's got a good flavor. It's
level 1 to level knockoff hot ones,
like
but they're never that hot.
Yeah, this is mild at best. This is like maybe a Frank's.
Yeah,
if that.
But there is what was it? Something. It was something Doritos extra flaming hot. I don't think that we've ever had it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But I have seen it. It's bagging groceries. Doritos extra flaming hot.
Really? Like as a hot sauce you're talking?
No, like a chip.
Oh, okay.
But it's spicy apparently. So
too early in the morning to try to follow this conversation. He's just pulling this stuff out of nowhere.
Doritos extra flaming hot. It exists, I guess. But maybe
Did you want to hit it with a little seasoning salt or stuff? I think we're probably going to be good.
It should be fine.
Normally in a crock pot, I'm just going to put a little pepper on it because I like pepper. Normally in a crock pot, I'll let it cook for a little while and then I'll try it, make sure it has enough flavor. And if it doesn't, I'll hit it with a little more of the cumin or the whatever we have. But there you go. It looks like it has enough liquid. That looks like it's seasoned good. This, we're going to end up, Ryan likes the thing. I might go get a kielbasa and add it to it.
Hot dogs and onions and barbecue sauce. So good. We did a cook of that before. We also made potatoes on the side.
Correct. So you can go back and watch that cook.
That's a great video.
And we'll throw this either in another cast iron pan or we'll throw it in a disposable pan. And maybe we can make a barbecue sauce for that one. Or do you want to just do another?
Probably just do another.
Okay.
There's something so like classic about the taste.
The traditional. So, all right. So there you go. We're going to go fire up the smoker. We'll see you outside. All right. We are back. So the grill's coming up to temp. We're going to cook it at 225. We're just basically trying to put a smoke on these things, and I'll see if we can do it without overflowing, because we got this thing right to the rim. So basically all we did was I just threw the kielbasa in the
well, no kielbasa.
I mean, sorry, the hot dogs in the sausage.
Now, what are we using? Because you moved it on us.
Okay, so
we're
going to throw this on there. We're going to leave this side over here. We're going to put the pork chops on in a little bit. I'm not sure how long it's going to take us to cook the pork chops, and I want it to kind of come together at the same time. So we're going to put that in like this. So today, we're using a combination of that right there, the Expert Grill.
Championship cherry.
Cherry and apple. We used this on our last cook, which was the pork butt, and it came out really good. And I have some oak chunks that I threw in there with it to generate the smoke. So we're going to throw these two on. I'm going to find out. We might put the pork chops on, and Ryan's got them seasoned in. They're sitting on the counter right now. We're going to throw them on the grill. I think this should take probably a few hours in order to get a nice smoke into it and tighten it up a little bit. But... and I think the pork chops will probably take a couple hours if we smoke them at the 225. So we'll do it at that. I'm not sure what he's staring at me weirdly like.
Well, if you look, his sunglasses are broken.
Okay, yeah, no, these are my beat-up ones that I use to mow on and stuff. So
I was confused.
No. All right, my other ones are in your car. There you go. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, we are back. It's been about 3 hours. So this is we're just going to cover this up a little bit. The vegetables aren't cooked yet. I think I'm going to turn it up. The pork chops, we having a little problem with my meat thermometer that came with the Gravity 980. For whatever reason, it's reading at like 200 and something degrees. The pork chops itself were just at 135-ish. So we're going to leave these on for a little bit more. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this up to 350. Ryan's got to go to work in a couple hours. So we're going to turn this up. This has been like almost 3 hours. It's been at 225. Yeah, it's reading at like 136. So we got like 10, a little bit more. And this, although it tastes good, the vegetables itself, like the carrots, were still crunchy. It's delicious though. So I'm going to turn it up to 350. We're going to let this go probably about an hour. This was almost done. I just want to kind of sweeten this up. This will probably take about 15 minutes. So we'll come back when we let you know what we do.
So, the beans are on the grill still. How long has it been?
We started about 9:30, so this is right around 12:42. So
yeah, that's what the time is.
About 3 hours. So we did almost actually more than 3 hours. No, 3 hours, 3 and change, because it's about 3.5. So we started at 225.
Yep.
We smoked it for a good 2.5 hours, and we turned it up to 350. The pork chops, I just went out there. They just
Tempt out
at like right around 160.
And then this is ready. So we're gonna be eating it now.
Yeah, normally when we go back and watch that video, I use kielbasa, and sometimes I'll throw the hot dogs and the stuff in it. Well, the kielbasa has more juice and it makes more of a liquid. I would have either had to add more barbecue sauce. The onions aren't 100% like sweet like the last ones. They have a little bit of crunch left to them.
But we like that.
But we figured we would eat it in sessions. The beans are just finishing up. The carrots and stuff, I was going to pre-cook them. In hindsight, I probably will do that next time, to heat the cast iron pan up to begin with and just do it on the stove real quick and pre-cook the vegetables. But Ryan said, let's try. It would definitely work. We could definitely do it. It's just going to take more time, and he's got to go to work in a couple hours. So
we turned it up.
So we turned up the grill again, and they'll probably be done in, say...
What did you turn it up to?
Right now, I have it hovering right around 400, but I'm going to go out there and stir it after we do this. So we're going to try this stuff that we already cooked.
Yeah. What are you most excited for? The chicken pork chops or the... Well, I'm more excited for
honestly, I want to see if the beans taste better on the smoker.
Oh,
do they have it? That's what I'm most excited
for.
Of
the show.
So that's what we mainly did this for. We made the pork chops before. I don't know if you could see all the juice.
We also made this before.
This is only rested for a couple minutes. This one has a weird bone. It does. It's like way up in the middle.
Yeah, it goes like zigzag.
But I'm going to have to try to find where the bone is and not cut it. And I'm going to give Ryan just wanted a little bit of this because he's waiting for the star to show too.
And this. I'm excited for that. A lot.
This one's like the weirdest pork chop I've ever seen.
Is that a good thing?
No. I'm trying to get a nice cut, but that one's not it. I wanted you to get, like, there's a bone.
This guy.
This one, I'm going to have to cut the big one in order to get you guys, like, this was like the weirdest pork chop. Like, look that's all bone. It's even harder to tell. Like, this is all bone on the outside. Anyways, you get what you get. You don't get upset. That's what we always say to Ryan. Like, this has got to be meats over here. So it is like,
so if you look at this guy,
super juicy anyways.
You have the smoke ring. It looks really good. You got the seasoning on the top side here.
Like that look at this thing, Ryan. That's all bone. That's the weirdest chop. Let me cut you the other one so you can actually get a good view of it. It is, yeah, it definitely looks pretty though, like with the smoke ring and stuff.
Are you ready?
I'm gonna try with the kicking chicken, yeah? Did you show them all the colors? Yeah. This one I'll be able to give you the side view. These were some big chops though.
Yeah.
There's a bone in the middle.
I forget how much they were. You'd have to go back.
No, they were relatively cheap. So I'll give you the side view of this one. Again, they say pork is done at 145, but this is definitely done nice. This is the middle view. It is definitely still juicy. I don't know if you can see the juice coming out of it. What do you think? When he went out and looked at it earlier, it was at the 145 mark. You want to chew on the bone? Here, you want the little pieces I cut? I didn't touch any of them. I'll eat the bone.
Nope.
I'll try you a little scoop of the other one.
That's good.
It has a nice smoky flavor. Kickin' chicken is actually, if you've never had it, it has a nice peppery taste to it.
Chicken, pork chop in this case.
Well, yeah, it's called Kickin' Chicken is the flavor from
Weber,
but it has like a bunch of the crushed red flavor in it, and it's not salty. It's just got like a good taste.
I'll show you a scoop of this. It's very simple. It's just onions, barbecue sauce, and well, for us it's sausage and hot dogs. And
yeah,
stuff.
last time we actually made a barbecue sauce. This time we just use a regular one. Like I said, if you put kielbasa in with that, the kielbasa lets out a lot more juice.
Would you like a scoop?
And then you can cook it. Yeah, you can throw a scoop on there. And try it.
There you go. I'm excited.
I was actually going to barbecue up the Kickin' Chicken one too, but I said, oh, we already have barbecue on this one. Started blowing. What do you think of this? This used to be one of your favorite meals.
It still is one of my favorite meals. You can't really go wrong with it. It's easy.
It is very
delicious.
It is so simple, so easy, and when you really cook it down, and the onions get super sweet. See, that one is. It's going to depend on how big I cut it.
I was just saying a few days ago, right? Man, I want to eat this again. Here it is. I'm happy. It's so good. I like it a lot.
He did say that. He's like, can we make that again? I'm like, no, we can always throw it on. It doesn't take anything to do it. It's really no prep time. You just cut the stuff and it cooks up easy. And like I said, if you use like a kielbasa, if I would have just put a little bit more of the barbecue sauce too, it would have worked out. Even the fat on there is good.
Overall, everything's good so far. I'm hoping the beans are really good.
Yeah, they should be off in a little bit. We won't make this part too good because we actually cook both of these, although I really like this Kickin' Chicken on the pork, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't remember. A lot of times we have another Cajun one that we like to use on the pork chops that we make inside. We just recently got this Kickin' Chicken one back because we ran out of it and I haven't found it in the longest time.
But it's really
overall, we did a pork chop one. I just went back and viewed some of it. We were having issues with the Char Grill in the very beginning, but we got them worked out to a T now. But these pork chops were nice because they were, although we are having an issue with our probe, is not.
Yeah,
it's not reading right. I'm gonna have to buy a second probe. I bought another kit that has like 4 external probes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the Wi-Fi.
And we like ease.
And easy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really spoiled. Don't get me wrong. If I ever got, a stick burner, I'd have to stay out by it all the time. The one good thing about the Char Grill at 980 is you literally can set it. You can watch the temperatures from inside the house. Like today, it's like 50 degrees outside. You go out, you check your food, you come back in. The ease of it is crazy incredible.
Easy.
Ryan cooks via Xbox. You know what I mean? So he just sits up there and I call him.
Play video games like all day.
But I may have to look into getting like a thermal probe that has the wireless on it, because getting this, part of the thing is, we live in New England, so we get plenty of cold and we get plenty of snow, and I do want to see, will this thing hold its temp in 10-degree weather out there? So I'm going to have to get something where I don't have to sit out there in a 10-degree snowbank.
We're also considering a green screen, so we can do some things behind us.
Oh, he's giving all the secrets away.
Oh wow, Dairy Queen's behind us, for instance. We would just add Dairy Queen. We could be at wherever, McDonald's, And we'll have a picture of McDonald's behind here or something. We'll figure it out.
We'll be eating at the Eiffel Tower every night. So, all right, well, we'll cut this short. We'll bring you back when the beans are done. We'll see you then.
Like Humans and Pets, it's 1:38. 1:39. It's 1:39 now.
10,
Just changed.
12, 1.
So
So
it's
it
a good
was
4 hour. We started at 9, so it was
yeah, maybe 9:30. So
like
we weren't
15
really
maybe.
yeah.
38.
Come on.
I don't know when we started it. It was around 9:30. About a 4 hour cook.
It was, but we had to turn it up.
About like what? It was about 3.5 for the pork chop and the other one. Beans was 4 hours. This is the start of the show. I hope it's good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna eat it now.
Yeah, so I had just turned it up from, I turned it up to 400 when we took the other two things off, just because he has to go to work in about an hour, actually under an hour now. So I wanted to make sure that it mostly cooked through. We could have sped up the process, and I was gonna do it if I would have just sauteed up the carrots, the onions, and the peppers first, and then threw it on there. The pan would have been hot. It would have cooked quicker. But as you see in the picture, if he puts the picture in the video, it actually it thickened up nice. Yeah, I gotta go for it.
It's also very smoky, steamy.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be piping hot.
Yeah.
So
we just took it off.
I just took it off, and as you can see, it is very hot. So you're gonna have to blow on it here because this is we just ate a bunch of other stuff.
Thank you.
It thickened up nice. If I would have cooked it slower, the whole way, I would have kept an eye on it. We could always add any kind of a broth, whether it be a beef broth or more sauce, you know what I mean, just to keep it. But this is like the perfect thickness on it. I can say, just from smell, there's a nice smoke flavor coming off of this pot, but I'm sure it is scorching hot. I don't usually eat these plain. I always hit this with hot sauce. I'm not today because I just want to try it, but I'm just saying for the record, normally I always hit it with something. So
It does. The bean's good.
It's hot, spicy hot. It really soaked up that smoke flavor though. Like how are they too smoky for you? I know he said on one of the chickens, it was about as much smoke as he wanted on it. This has a nice smoky flavor. This would have been good. And now that I know how they cook, I might do this. Like next time we make like a pulled pork, and where you're cooking it really slow all day long, this would work well in that. We could have put it in like a disposable tin and just let it go all day, you know? Normally this recipe, when I do this, I normally throw it in a crock pot and I just let it cook all day. What do you think? Better with, I like the smoke flavor. I've absolutely loved cooking on the Char Griller. I love the flavor it comes off.
We haven't had these beans.
No, we haven't had them in a while.
In years. Since I was younger.
And even now, when you cook it in a crock pot all day, like the carrots are super sweet. Like this would have been better if we had the time to slow cook it a little bit more. Carrots would have been a little more sweet. Because something about the carrots and the beans like this.
And the onion.
And the onions, they get sweet when you cook them like this. And that's, I've been putting them in my chili, which may sound weird to some of you. But a lot of times too, it's funny because Ryan's a hot dog. He's a sausage guy. So like when I make a chili here, I'll make it with all different kinds of sausages, which keep in mind, we'll ask them out. We'll ask. I watch some people, and I'll throw a shout out to like Smoking Joe's Barbecue or Chud's Barbecue, all the ones that I've been watching lately, and they're all making these sausages, and they look so good. Ryan is like a sausage king. He loves his sausage.
I do like my sausage a lot.
So I've been thinking, I've never done it in my life, but I've been thinking of trying to make our own sausages. So if you want to see something like that, leave a comment down below, and maybe I'd have to buy the equipment. I don't have a grinder. I don't have a sausage maker, but
it would be a ton of fun.
To see it, it might be something we do anyways in the future, but leave a comment down below if it's something you do want to see. But overall, I like this. And the good thing is you can put as much flavor, whatever you want to do. I always put a little bit of the the Mexican flavor with the barbecue, and the wine just gives a nice sweetness to it. I've done it with beer before too. He never knew that when he was a kid, but it all cooks out.
Yeah.
But it adds a nice flavor, and it makes a better sauce, you know, since sometimes, don't get me wrong, I like the baked beans, like, you know, regular, which we'll do that in the future too, where you just doctor up a baked bean, because he likes that when we just throw it on the stove as a side, but I bet it would be better in a smoker besides.
Of course. I think most things we've cooked, well, all of them have ended up better. This one, I must say, I'm liking it a lot.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's as good just because they get the sweetness from the cooking for so long. We'd have to do this again and an all-day cook.
An all-day cook.
Just to see. But it's very close.
You don't have to like it.
But I like this, like the best about the other one.
I will say, because normally
really
when you cook it all day, like the carrots, the onions, the peppers, you can barely even tell they're there because they're so soft and they're so and they're not today because we had to turn it up and we had to cook it quicker. But it's good to know because we have a couple big pieces of meat downstairs that we have to cook. I want to cook anyways, and we can always do this as a side dish. To me,
I love the smokiness.
I love the beans as a side anyways like this. And again, this was a way that I got him to eat like the carrots and the peppers and the onions. Because when he started picking them out when he was little. And then before he knew it, he was throwing them in his mouth. He didn't realize he was actually eating them. But I do. You do like the smokiness?
Yeah.
I really do. And that's one thing I've said. I mean, I grew up. We had this rusty grate, and we built our own fire, and we started cooking. Before we had money to buy a gas grill, we would cook on this rusty grate, all of our food. And I always said everything tastes better over an open fire. It does
on a rusty grate.
On a rust, I'm telling you, this was a nasty rusty grate we used to cook on. But, and it was delicious. Since I've bought this smoker, and everything on here just tastes that much better. It really does. And I'm not advocate for Char Griller unless they want me to be. You know what I mean? I just mean smoker in general. The amount of flavor that smoke adds to the meat is really good. And this is coming from, and again, we'll throw Missouri State Fair. We had some of the worst barbecue when we were there.
I don't know what happened. Everybody loved it. Who else got it? It was in the place.
Not good. And it tasted like you were licking an ashtray.
It was like sawdust. Like, it was bad.
It had to have been all that bad smoke that they're talking about. And that's what I was afraid of when I bought a smoker is, am I going to hate this? You know, and I'm pleasantly surprised the amount of flavor and taste
that it comes with,
that it adds. And like this same meal, I only threw in sausage and hot dogs, but a lot of times I'll put in Italian sausage or kielbasa or bacon or pepper, whatever we have. That's why this is a good thing. It's whatever you want. I use kidney beans because I think they hold their texture the best, and you can cook them all day long and they don't disintegrate. But I've done them with
pinto
chili.
beans would.
Eventually, yeah. But I've done it with like a can of pinto beans, or I've done it with black beans, and it's how long you cook them. Yeah. So overall, this was my bean recipe anyways, and I do a different one, but this was like the main one that when he first started eating them, and I kind of like it this way because it gives you that barbecue Mexican twist, and it's not just the straight molasses candy flavor that you get, which I do like them too, but this, we're gonna have to try them with the smoke too, because we do doctor up some baked beans sometimes. But overall,
I like it.
I really like the smoke flavor. I agree with you, like the carrots. If we could have kept it low another half hour, it would have sweetened them up. Yeah. The onions and the peppers are good though. I think they're cooked nice. When I cut the big carrots,
I was worried that the beans were gonna be mushy. They're far from that. They're really good.
No, they could have stood, and that was the difference too. That's why I kind of like the kidney beans, because the longer you cook them, the better they seem to get. They don't like mush up. They seem to just like get softer. You know what I mean? Like, but not to the point where they disintegrate. They always hold their texture.
The inside soft, but the outside shell, like the skin of it. is very like good.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised how much smoke flavor got into that sauce.
Very pleasant.
And I wish Ryan would like a beef stew, because I've always wanted to make a chili or a beef stew. He does like chili though.
I want to make a chili in here. That would be good.
Stay tuned for that.
I want to try to make our own chips.
Ryan's version of chili consists of all the same meat. He doesn't but
I put hot dogs in it.
It's all hot dogs and sausage and stuff like that, which this is one of the reasons why I kind of leaning towards, I'd like to try to make my own. I've never had my own, like try to make like a jalapeno cheddar sausage or like all the different sausages that they have out there. There's a million different flavors.
Yeah.
But overall, absolutely loving this. Give it a try. If you do, leave a comment down below, and hope you enjoyed the video.